These are some tippy tops that I turned on my lathe. Actually, there's 3 of them, and the reason is that this was the first one I turned, and as you can see, it's got a point on it. And I didn't know that would make a tippy top, not top. Tipple top. All right, let me do it again. See how it's just working like a regular top. Now there's 2 things that make a tippy top tipple. Tip over. It has to have a hollow section here inside the body of the top, and it has to have a roughly hemispherical shape. And this was too aggressively cone shaped, and it doesn't tip over. So I started my generation 2 tippy top, and here I hollowed it out more so it has even more mass missing from the inside. And again, it has a much more flattened hemisphere shape. And the first time I tried it, it didn't work. And I read online that if you flatten this even more, it'll do it. So I did it again. And this is a little tricky to do it in the frame of the camera. You can see it starts to turn over, but it doesn't tip up on the very top. It's probably because the mass distribution isn't quite correct. The walls are maybe a bit too thick. Maybe the stem isn't quite the right shape, because it's maybe too thick. So there's too much mass here. Because the idea is you want to have the mass distribution separate from the center of rotation, so it pulls it over on its side. So then I started with generation 3. Generation 3, I used a much cheaper wood and a much smaller piece, because these are hard maple, and I burned 2 pieces of hard maple on failures. I figured, okay, let's go back and try it with a cheaper material. This is poplar. I made the stem thinner. Again, I hollowed out quite a bit inside. The thing I heard is it has to be down to a depth of at least a ½ inch, and it is very pronouncedly flat on the bottom. So I might be able to rescue this one by increasing the flatness on the bottom. So in this one, yeah, can't get it to stay in the frame. You can see it got up there. All right. There, perfect. And off the edge it goes, nope. So that one works. And as you see, these 2 are pretty close to one another in overall shape and size. But the stem is thinner on this one than it is on this one. And that might be having too much mass too high up. And the bottom of this one is much more pronounced flattening. So I'm going to rescue this, I'm going to try to thin out this stem more and flatten this bottom more. And that will change the distribution of mass, and it might be able to rescue it.